Back to our top story now. For more on the former President Jacob Zuma's second day of testimony at the State Capture of Inquiry, we cross to our reporter Mzwandile Mbeje, who's standing by. Mzwandile, it seems as though now the president is being questioned by Advocate Pretorius. It's very much that he doesn't know or doesn't recall many things.
Well, thank you very much, Nompu. You recall that before this adjournment, which is the lunch adjournment, so there were some consultations between the legal team of the former president and the legal commission, and of course including the judge, because there appeared to be a bit of a stalemate or a standoff. The team was not happy with the manner in which the cross-examination was happening, and the legal team, rather the commission, was insisting to saying they are doing their best to get as much information as possible. But perhaps, Nombu, before I even go into detail into those issues, with me is the Secretary General of the ANC, Magashule, who we've managed to speak to, or rather get here to speak to just get his sense and the reaction as this commission continues. Remember, the former president said very interesting stuff yesterday, and the SG of the ANC is here to get to give that reaction. Mr. Magashule, we see you here. You've been listening through, and then you know what he said yesterday, particularly about his former comrades, or rather his comrades.
Well, Jacob Zuma has been the member of the ANC for many years, long before many of us. He was in exile. He knows who's who in the ANC. And we are just here to give the necessary support, to hear what President Zuma is saying as the ANC. And I'm sure we hear him. And we have heard what he has actually said.
He basically spoke about a very senior member of the ANC, a former cabinet minister, Nwakora Matloti, being a spy, and of course alluding to some individuals who are actually, he's saying, are actually spies. In fact, even within the NEC, though he didn't mention names.
Well, let's leave it there. Maybe if the ANC wants to get into that space, it might be the space for the ANC, because I think for many years, including Mandela time, this issue has been spoken about. And if it's time for us to talk about, I'm not NEC, so I will leave that matter to the National Executive Committee.
But how serious is the ANC viewing this whole matter?
Well, I don't know how serious people take what people say here, because other people are believed, others are not believed. So let's leave the commission to come with its own conclusions. But South Africans are there to watch, to see and listen for themselves. And out there, the public will also make its own conclusions.
So as the ANC are still in full support of the commission, do you want it to continue? You welcome the revelations that are coming up?
The commission, everybody has said, it's the commission, the ANC supported, the ANC wanted. So what we have, we said we want the commission. So the commission is doing its work.
But don't you think this has the potential of dividing the ANC? I mean, we've had responses, Mr. Magashule, from people like Nyanda, basically saying the former president is lying. Even Ramatlot himself saying, wow, actually he would prefer a lie detector test to determine who's lying between them.
Well, I don't know. Other people are lying, others are not lying, who to believe and all that. So people said that let there be a commission. The commission is there. Many people have gone to the commission, from any person who wanted to say anything to the commission. Others believe them, others don't believe them. In the social media, they are right and all that. So this is the Zuma's time. Let's hear him also.
I know you're rushing to lunch, but let me just get at least this final one. So do you think this will not have a negative impact on the ANC?
Well, I don't know. because there are those who say Zuma is right, it's not lying. There are those who say it's lying. On what basis? So it means within the organization there will be those who say this is a real story. Others will say there is no real story. But remember, in any revolution there is counter-revolution.
But that's a potential for division.
Probably.
Are you ready for that?
How we handle it as the African National Congress, whether we are mature politically to deal with the challenges facing the ANC, or whether we want to see the demise of the African National Congress. Those who are still politically conscious will actually ensure that the ANC is still united, is still strong, is still the organization of the masses of our people. And it will remain so. And the ANC, which is biased towards the working class, the ANC which is still in line with the poor, if that character of the ANC remains, the ANC will never actually die because of any individual.
But from public utterances, SG, from the ordinary people who are supporting the ANC, already there appears to be a huge division on this issue.
Well, let them decide, let them conclude. As I say, Zuma has been with this organization for many years. He was the chief of intelligence. He will know you and I. So what can I say? I don't know.
But is it the right time to expose all those things?
I don't know when is the right time. Mandela in 1994 did not want to reveal any name of anybody because Mandela said, let's rebuild and reconstruct South Africa. And during the years of struggle, you and I know that there were informers. And other people were claimed to have been informers. And sometimes it was not the case. So I don't know. Let the public and the people judge for themselves.
So is the ANC likely to meet, perhaps discussing the implications of this? I know that there are many other witnesses who have come here to give their evidence, but of course this one is from a former president of the ANC. So are we likely to see a meeting really to talk about these things? Because if, let's say, it doesn't happen, we will continue to hear senior members of the ANC in public accusing each other, calling each other out. And I'm sure as the SG of the ANC, you wouldn't want to see that happen.
What I've always said to ANC members and leaders, the agenda and the pace of our struggle moving forward must never be set by the media. As to when we are going to meet, it must be an internal matter. But the ANC will meet at this ordinary meeting of the NEC, which is scheduled in the next 2 weeks or so.
Definitely discuss this issue as well.
Well, I don't know the agenda because the agenda, you allow members to put items on the agenda if they so wish. For now, this matter is not on the agenda of the African National Congress. It might be out there in the public. I don't know how leaders of the ANC will think and feel about it. It's up to the collective of the African National Congress.
I know I said the last question last time around, but this is the last. Okay, that's good. Some people have said certain things about you, SG, as well. So anytime soon, we see you come here, not necessarily as the SG of the ANC, but as Magashule.
Well, I have legal people. I don't just move and go anywhere. I said I wanted to go. The legal people said, wait, there are processes. You don't just go there. Because I will ask you, and I hear this question all the time, there are so many people, you never ask them to come here. So let's not rush. Let's take our time. My legal representatives are there. But I've said at any given stage, I'll be prepared to say so. I'll be prepared to go to the Zondo Commission. So there's no secret about it. People can do what they say, rubbish our names out there in the public, because the intention is to weaken the ANC and to weaken us. And with us, it will never happen. We'll remain principled, we'll remain strong. And that's what I want to say to black people, Africans in particular, blacks in general, and white Democrats, that the ANC must still be there to make sure that this country moves forward. we must never be derailed by counter-revolution.
We know that the ANC is also preparing to give a statement, as the ANC. So any indication, have you got any indication from the Commission? When will they like to see you guys here?
No, not yet.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
There was the Secretary General of the ANC there, Magashule, basically talking to us about some of the things that Nompu came out of the Zondo Commission yesterday. You remember that former President Zuma named Ngwagora Matlodi as one of the people who was a spy, so which was a startling claim. And of course, we see that the Secretary General of the ANC is here attending, basically saying he's giving support to the former president of the ANC and, of course, of the country, Nombo.
Okay, Mzwandile, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for your report. My colleague there, Mzwandile Mbeje, reporting from the State Capture inquiry.